This is called an ear and also called as oven spring. Today I'm going to show you 3 ways how to obtain this kind of ear. Follow me. Guten Morgen everyone and welcome to my lab. Today I am talking about oven spring. Oven spring is this, also called ear of the bread or eyelash. There are many names to call this, and this happens by 3 factors that you have to have in mind. The first one, you need, of course, a bread, really fermented bread like this one, which has to be perfectly proofed in the right point to be baked. Yes, this sounds a little bit stupid, but the thing is that it has to be the perfect point. If it's too proofed or overproofed, then you won't get an ear because the bread won't have more energy to expand, to grow in the oven, so then you'll end up with a flat bread. But that bread is going to be light, so it's totally edible. But if you, on the other hand, bake a bread underproofed, then you get not a bread, you get a rock, and that rock, it's not edible. So that's the first point that you have to have in mind. The second point is that in order to get a nice ear, nice oven spring, you need to make a score, like a slash, a cut. You need to cut on the crust of the bread. So this way you're going to weaken one part of the crust of the bread, so the bread is going to open, to expand in where you are indicating to. But if you leave the bread to open by itself, it is going to find the weakest part of the future crust and will open there. And the third factor, really important, is the moist. You need moist. You need vapor in the oven, so you can let the bread grow. It needs to grow in the oven, expand freely, and for that you need the humid ambience, or how do I say, inside the oven, so you can let the bread grow. So for that, I am going to do some kind of weird experiment today. I am going to bake a bread with no steam or vapor and no scoring at all, just to see what happens and we understand what I am talking about. Of course, in my channel there are many different videos that I've done talking about scoring, of course about how to bake in different ovens, how to make better steam in the oven, many ways. So here in the channel you have everything. Today I'm just talking about 3 ways to get or to obtain a good oven spring, which is kind of interesting. So, for the sake of the science, I am going to bake this first bread without doing much anything, just taking it into the oven like this. Yes, I know it's a pity. This bread, it's gorgeous, it's on its perfect proofing point to be baked, but I'm not going to do anything at all. I should do a scoring here or something, but I'm going to put it in the oven just like this. No steam and no scoring at all. The oven is preheated at maximum temperature, and I'm going to put it here on the tray just like this. And may the gluten be with it. See you in a few minutes. Okay, I don't want you to see this, but it's like a piece of art. I'm sorry, dear bread, but ow. Ooh. It was for the sake of the bread sides. So, take a look at this. It's light, but I know, it's horrible. But what I was looking for was this. Take a look at this. The bread nature open or find a weak spot in which to open. So this was the weakest point. Of course, here the crust was sealed immediately because of the high heat of the oven, no steam, and I also was using the fan. So the crust got dry in seconds. And also take a look at this bubble here. I don't know, but this is the weakest point. This was the weakest point of the bread. So it opened from here. This is perfectly edible, so only that it's not that beauty. But that's what I was looking for. So now I'll show you how to make this better. Let's go. Okay, let's start. Here I have another bread like the one that we baked before, perfectly proofed and ready to be baked. But today I'm going to score it. For that I have 3 different kind of scoring tools. First I have this artisan one made out of wood, which has this razor blade, which is a straight blade. There's another way that you can have it. This one is disposable and it's curved. This one mostly is used when you bake baguettes. And I also have this one, which is also going to be curved, and I'm going to put this new blade, this razor blade. Always remember to use really sharp utensils like this razor blade. Okay, so I have it here. It's also curved like this one, but this one is not disposable. Of course, the razor blade is. But the key here is to have something really sharp. If it's not sharp, you won't be able to make a precise cut. That's why you need to do this. Another thing that is going to help me is this bread has been cold fermenting for around 18 to 16 hours. Of course, here in my channel I have many videos about how to bake this bread, to make this bread, to the formulas, whatever you want. There are a million of videos here in my channel. But the thing is that this bread is cold. So when I cut it, when I do the slashing, it's going to be easier. The cut is going to be cleaner. That's going to help us to get a better oven spring. So another thing that I need, and since I was talking about the steam in the oven, today I'm going to use my Dutch oven, which is my favorite tool that I use when I am baking at home. So here I have my preheated oven, and now I have this preheated Dutch oven here, which is really heavy and hot. Wow. So this way, let me open it. Wow. This way, we are going to use steam to let the crust of the bread to maintain moist during the first part of the bake, but we are going to keep all the water that is going to evaporate from the bread inside this, or retain inside the Dutch oven. That's why I'm going to use. And also, this iron cast is going to give more heat, so it's going to help us with the oven spring. So, let me put some semolina, some flour here, some more semolina on the back of the bread, and now time to unmold. And as you can see, this bread looks gorgeous as the one I did before. And now it's time to make the scoring. For that, there are many ways to cut. I could cut it on this side, I could cut here, I could cut it like this. Today I'm going to cut them in the middle, so I get an open more in the center, not that ear that pronounced. So I'm going to cut here in the middle of the bread. That depends on the baker and the kind of ear that you want. So now I cut it here, I check if everything is okay. Looking gorgeous, and now it's time to close the lid. And all the water that's going to evaporate from this bread will maintain the bread moist while it expands and grows in the oven. That's the secret. That's why we use steam during baking. So come with me to the oven. And here it goes. And I'll see you in 15 minutes. Then we'll remove the lid. Okay. Good. Time to take out the lid. Oof. Whoa. Come with me. And let's open it up. Whoa. Wow. Take a look at this ear. Excellent oven spring. Beautiful. Both sides. So now that we have the oven spring, excellent ear, now it's time to let it golden brown. So it's going back to the oven for around 15 more minutes. Wow. May the gluten be with you. Okay, take a look at this gorgeous bread. Wow. Oof. Oh, wow, wow, it's hot. Okay, let's go back to the counter. Wow. So, take a look at it. Beautiful, nice, golden, brown, beautiful ear, oven spring. It sounds hollow, it's light, and of course, is beautiful. So, mission accomplished. So, let's continue, and I'll show you another way to achieve this kind of ear. Here I have another bread, perfectly proofed, ready to be baked in another kind of banneton. But now I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to score it from the beginning. I'm going to do it later. So, this is a bread, perfectly proof. I need again my Dutch oven, because we're always using steam. And here I have it preheated. This is an excellent exercise. Okay, ready? Whoa. Now, as I did before, I'm going to put some flour there, and some flour here on the back of the bread, and here and mold it. Since here is the same thing, but now I am not going to score it right now. I'm going to cover it and let it grow just a little bit, a few minutes. So, it will be in a moist ambience because it's going to be inside the Dutch oven. So, let's take it into the oven. And there it goes. But instead of 15 minutes, I'm going to let it there just for 6 minutes. I'll see you in 6 minutes. Good. It's about time to take this bread in the middle of the baking. Good. It's been 6 minutes. And now, take a look at this. Ooh. Follow me. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And let's see what we have inside. Wow. Okay. It still has not opened as expected. And it is still moist. It's not dry. So now I'm going to make the scoring. And take a look how easy it is. Beautiful. Look, it was really, really easy. So now I'm going to cover it again and let it open slowly again in the oven. So I'm going to put it back here for another 8 minutes. And I'll see you then. Okay, good. Time to remove the lid. Let's see what's going on here. Come with me. Okay. I'm gonna do it, and wow. Take a look at it. Beautiful ear. Okay. So now I'm going to leave it there for a few minutes more, till it's golden brown. 15 minutes is okay. Okay, good. Beautiful. Take a look at it. Beautiful bread. Wow. Oh. Let's come here. So here we have it. Also light, hollow, and beautiful. Beautiful ear. Just made a few minutes later from the beginning of the baking. Good. So let me put it here too. And let's continue. There's a third method that I want you to know. It's secret. Wow. And here is the third method. Yes, I know now the banneton is round. It's no longer oval because this method, it is going to be non-scoring. Yes, as the first one, as this one, but today I'm going to use steam. So the result should be different as this one. And there's also one thing different in this shape, in this bread, is that I shaped it differently and I put it upside down in the banneton. Let me show you. So here I have a perfectly proof dough that I need to shape. So let's start shaping it as usual. Some semolina or some flour there. And here's the dough. Remember that if you want to learn more about sourdough, there is my masterclass. Yes, I have a masterclass of sourdough bread and many other classes. Here is the link. Remember that you can go there and start baking and learning a lot today. So go to the link, there it is, and start today. So, okay, here's the dough, ready to be shaped. So now what I'm going to do are the stitches. Come, take a look at this. I'm going to make the stitches here on the bottom of the bread. So these are the stitches of the bread, right? So what do I do now? I always flip it over, and now I finish it like a normal bread. Till this moment, it's everything as usual. But now, what I'm going to do, since I have here the banneton, is to put it on the other way, upside down. Most of the times, I put the stitches towards up, because when I unmold it, I put the stitches on the bottom. But now, since I want this bread to open by itself without scoring it, and of course with steam, I'm going to put it this way, like this, with the stitches down. So when I flip it over, the stitches should be on the other side, up. So that's the little secret that I already have here. See the difference in both breads. This was recently shaped, and this one is ready, perfectly ready to go to the oven. So, talking about the oven, let's bring the Dutch oven here so we can bake this bread. Good. There. Ooh. Here's just, as usual, heavy and hot. Good. So, as I said, we're going to put it here. So, this beautiful face, which normally should be the face that I do the scoring, it's going to go upside down. Here it goes. And the other side of the bread, which was the stitches, as you can see, are here, are going to open, I don't know, by the nature of the breadology or something like that. Okay, so let's cover it up with the lid on, going to the oven. And I'll leave it there for 15 minutes. Okay, time to remove the lid and see how the nature of the bread opened this bread. Wow. And wow, take a look at it. Beautiful. So now that the bread has opened, we need to let it golden brown a few minutes more. 15 minutes. And I'll see you then. Good, so finally the oven is ringing, and here is this gorgeous bread that opened by itself. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go back here and let's take a closer look at it. Light, take a look at the oven spring. It's a self-made oven spring done by the nature of the bread. So, the difference between this one and this one was just the steam. Also, I did the method that I put it upside down, but the difference between this one and this one mostly is the steam that I use. So, here I have all the four breads to see the difference. Let me take the gloves off. And here we are. So, the first one, as we've seen before, was baked with no scoring and no steam. So, the bread just tried to open on the weakest part of the dough and did this. This also like this bread. Of course, you can eat it, but it's not looking that good. So, this happened when you bake a perfectly proofed bread with no steam. If this bread would have been under fermented, the bread would have been stoned, as I said before. So let's move on. Here's the first method, the classic method, just scoring the bread prior the baking. So I put it in the Dutch oven. I could have also baked it with steam, direct steam, or maybe in an oven, in a professional oven. But this is, of course, that you get mostly when you do when you score it from the beginning, the year that you have when you score the bread from the beginning. This one was cut it, or the score was done in the middle, not in the middle, but just in the middle of the first part of the bake at 6 minutes, and we got this kind of scoring. Of course, this depends on many other things: the weight of the bread, the exactly point of fermentation that you bake it. But the system is this one. And then the third one, which looks more rustic, and I love it. I also do this in whole wheat or rye bread. It's also beautiful. This kind of rustic crust, which is, it's hot. And I really like this kind. It's more artisan, I think, or rustic. So here you have 3 different examples of how to get an excellent oven spring and this kind of year. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Maybe you can leave me comments if there's another method that you like. Of course, I will read, and maybe I'll do it in the next video. So that's all. May the gluten be with you, and I hope you have enjoyed these 3 methods of today.